Okay. I can't keep this hand. And my opponent reveals a Giganta. So that tells me it's probably Zoo or Tron. And I'm really hoping it's Zoo. I can keep this hand though. I'm happy with that. Uh, Not happy to see a Ragavan, but I'm just hoping that I dodge the what's it called? Discard. That they don't hit a discard spell on top. They do not. They hit a marsh. And for some reason they cast the binding on the shredder first. I think they overestimate there. So that tells me they might have another binding in hand. So here I think I suspend the Profane Tutor. That way I have a bridge as soon as possible. I don't remember. Let's see. The other alternative is I could hope they just don't hit a discard spell. I can make myself shuffle in response, and I can duress. So I think Lantern Duress is probably better here, actually. Yeah. Unfortunately, that does get the Tribal Flames out, so that means that I'm probably going to win at this point. So they deal 5, and then 6, 7, 8. They just drew another bolt, 9, 10, 11, and then cast a Brawler. But Saga's going to get me a Shredder. Yeah. So cast the bridge, so I only take the 2. So that's going to put me at 9, and then put me at 3 from the 2 bolts. But the Saga's going to get me a Millrock. And from there I should really easily win. I could probably just hit play now. Yeah, Saga on top. I think, yeah, I think what I do here is I stirrings for a land so I can tutor and empty my hand faster. Yeah, yeah. So there's a swamp on top, so that means I know I can stirrings for the swamp, play the swamp, suspend profane tutor, and then I don't have to worry about the Ragavan anymore. And now there's a ridiculous number of cards in their deck that are just dead draws. Um, with the Saga, I'll be able to get another Millrock. Um, I could have gotten a cookbook, but I think Millrock is probably better. Yeah. So now I got another Profane Tutor on suspend. So then next turn I'll be able to tutor for another Millrock, and then tutor for another Millrock. And yeah, trying to use their fetches to shuffle the top card. I do not want that Thoughtseize. I don't want the Thoughtseize at all in the deck, even though it's going to get shuffled away. Yeah. Millrock, Glimmer Void. Pretty sure this is another mill rock. Yeah. So 4 rocks in play plus the 1 drill per turn, so that's 5 cards per turn. They have 41 cards in deck, so that's approximately 8 turns. So about turn, if I skip a few, uh, maybe turn 16, 17, they'll be dead. And I am milling myself too. Opponent is just tired of holding on to bolts now, I guess. Yeah, now I'm just mill my opponent. I don't use the Pixis because I want to draw this Pixis. Yeah, they got about 5 turns or so to live. Yeah. Play the needle, naming you are already dead. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. Drawing a bauble just because might draw an extra mill rock. I guess the opponent wants to play it out. And I want to draw that cartons. I copy the needle, naming you were already dead. It doesn't do anything, but opponent's out of cards and they lose. Alright, game 2. Come on, computer. Sideboard. Right, so I brought in all 3 of the Terra Sunders because they take out the ley lines and they also take out the scions. Yeah, and I swapped out baubles for those. I also took out the needles and brought in ley lines, and I took out cage. So in is 3 ley lines and 3 Terra Sunders. Out is cage, 3 baubles, 2 needles. I feel pretty good about this. I have the Duress Lock Bridge. Pretty cake. And they don't start with a Ragavan, which is fantastic. And I get an Underworld Cookbook. It's pretty easy. I fetch a swamp, so I take as little damage as possible. The rest of their hand is Pick Your Poison and 2 lands. 16 bins. And they did get another Nacatl, unfortunately. Yeah. So I do Lantern and Shredder. So let's see, this is 6 damage, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, don't do the Shredder, I'm sorry. Because I know they're going to try to do Pick Your Poison, I'm going to discard a land to the cookbook to make a food. I can sack the food and be okay. That will also help make it so I can play bridge next turn and make it so their dudes can't attack. So the big thing I have to worry about here is the Windswept Teeth. I need to dodge them using the Heath and getting a binding on top. Good thing about Pick Your Poison is it's a sorcery, so they couldn't respond to my cookbook activation. And things are good. There is a binding on top, unfortunately. So I have to sack my lantern. They used this. Oh, MTGO's being slow again. There. I keep the gardens open in case they draw a binding, so I can copy the bridge just in case. And if need be, I can uh, gain life with the food token. I'm pretty sure the other card in hand is a bolt. Yeah, go ahead and make another food token. And I'm still keeping the gardens up to copy bridge in case of a binding. So I look at their top card and I see a Tribal Flames. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So I decided to go ahead and gain the life now. So now I have to play something so their guys can't attack. So I decide to go for a Shredder and Profane Tutor, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, wait, Profane Tutor, and I keep the Terra Sunder. That way I can discard and gain life if I have to. Yeah. So they dash a Ragavan. Um, and in hindsight, I probably should have just um, discarded that to the cookbook to make another food token. That's probably a misplay. So they did use the Pick Your Poison. Uh, can't cast Leyline, just one white mana short. That would have been great. So I don't cast it here, and I don't discard it to cookbook yet because I want to lure my opponent into paying 2 for the Ragavan. Now the good news is Profane Tutor comes off suspend. I figured that they don't have a binding, or else they would have played it already. So now I should be safe playing these. I just need to dodge, and I should be able to gain life in response to burn spell. So now I can discard the extra lantern to gain more life if I need to, and then these two are going to make it so I have a 3 rock lock, and that should be it. Go ahead and mill that. I didn't copy the Shredder last turn just in case I needed to gain life because I still don't know some of the cards in their hand. So I know that they probably don't have the extra burn damage in hand. I know that they have a Tribal Flames and a Ragavan in hand. So I go ahead and I gain the life there to try to lure them to try to deal damage to me so that in response I can cookbook a lantern and gain life. So that tells me that they probably don't have enough burn in hand for lethal. Yeah, same thing, lure the Ragavan, discard for cookbook. And that pretty much tells me they cannot have enough. And they also need the, let's see, that gives them red. This does not. So that means that they don't have enough red mana to kill me. So I'm safe copying the lantern. And the opponent finally concedes.